When the Chinese government decided to fund the Taliban in taking over Afghanistan because they thought it'd be good to have an enemy of the United States in charge of Afghanistan because they consider it a strategic country. What I don't think they understand is that the Taliban is that bad for the Afghanis, but maybe they do understand that. Okay, so in the United States, we have women that if they moved to Afghanistan, I promise they would be by far the smartest person in all of Afghanistan. Lila Tretikov, who's the deputy chief technical officer of Microsoft, and she used to be the CEO of Wikipedia. Like, you want to talk about a woman that her life has made a difference. Wikipedia is that company that's like that important to the world, and she's that smart. If she lived in Afghanistan, she'd be by far the smartest person in all of Afghanistan. If she lived in Pakistan, she'd be by far the smartest person in Pakistan. Like, as she'd be by far the best computer programmer in all of Pakistan. But if she lived in Afghanistan, she wouldn't be able to contribute at all. And if she had a brother who was a piece of shit, he would inherit more money than her, even though she is someone that is so smart that she could change the world by how smart she is. She's kind of like Grace Hopper. Grace Hopper invented the compiler, which is what turns computer code, like, you know, when you write code, it's actually telling a computer how to, like, it gets converted into binary. And that's a really difficult thing to do. Grace Hopper invented the compiler. And Grace Hopper, in Afghanistan, $20 says that they don't have a single computer programmer in all of Afghanistan that could write a compiler, even if they took a college class on how to write compilers. Writing compilers is that difficult. Like, creating a compiler is that hard. So they don't have a single person that's as smart that can even learn to do what Grace Hopper invented. But she's a woman, and therefore she shouldn't have rights. She shouldn't be able to contribute to the progress of their society. And if there are women like Grace Hopper in Afghanistan, they're not going to make progress, primarily because the Chinese military decided to back the Taliban. And I'm sure the Taliban's going, that's not true. Iran backed us. Okay, Iran's economy sucks. Like, I know you guys think, wow, they have so much oil. God blessed them with oil. Iran is so rich. Okay, Iran's economy sucks. Like, you do not want to be that dependent on a single commodity. Or even if you're dependent on natural gas and oil, like, you do not want to be dependent on the commodity business to have a successful economy. And the problem is, when you cut off 50% of your brains, you don't end up with Mary Barra, who would also be by far the smartest smartest person in either Afghanistan or Pakistan. Like, she's the I think chairman of I can't remember what she is, maybe president and chairman of General Motors, which, by the way, General Motors actually runs a business. Like, there's a difference between, like, my business is fundraising and not actually, like, being like a logical business, like a small business would think, which is like, I need to make profits. I need to only up my expenses if I think it's going to up my profits. Like, I'm afraid if I'm a small business of a single person, say Larry Ellison, bought a bunch of Tesla stock and it went up that much, and he goes, I just made $50 billion on this stock because I sold it and I made that much profit. When that $50 billion is taken out of the company, which is not taken out of the company, but it sure is profit that is basically taken out of the company, what happens there? Tesla needs to make that profit eventually, or, like, if you're thinking about the stock as a long-term type situation, they need to figure out how to make $50 billion somehow to replace the money that came out of their company. And all I'm saying is, when you've had that many people making the entire value of Ford, like, in profit, I mean, it's not that many people, but it's enough. Like, all it takes is a few to make that make the entire value of forward and profit off of your company to like, how am I going to ever make enough profit for the market cap of the competitors who make that much more money than me? How am I going to do that? I don't know. But all I know is that if I'm thinking about this stock as long term, and not just being a Goldman Sachs person that says, you don't understand stocks, I think you don't understand, this is not actually a business. This is a chart that I manipulate. Yeah, I don't think you understand. Like, I actually think about like what it means, but I mean, maybe you guys know more than me, but I know that the market cap really does mean something. All right, so what I'm saying is, when you cut out 50% of your society and you encourage everyone to be kind of stupid because they can't even think outside the box, or else like we're gonna intimidate you into following what we believe, you never end up with Grace Hopper in your country at all. And the women in our country benefit the world more than anyone in Afghanistan, Pakistan, all of Central Asia combined. Seriously, pretty much all of China combined. But China actually has women doing things. But China still has some backwards things about them. All right, I'm done talking.